Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. Please subscribe if you haven't yet already. It's a red button beneath me somewhere, and if you click on that you'll be subscribed. And hit the white bell button to get an alert every time I upload new content. And if you like this video, please click the thumbs up button. That would make me very happy. And leave comments and say hello and all that stuff. This is the third in a series where I'm taking the Rae Morris Makeup Masterclass book and using that for inspiration. Today I'm trying to recreate Opal Essence, which is this pinky purple blue situation that you see going on here. I am using a different lighting situation and can't yet tell if I'm going to be washed out, so fingers crossed that I'm okay. I'll probably post this anyway, even if I do look washed out, just as a part of the process. Yes, if you'd like to see how I got this look, which is a little interesting and includes 2 lip liners not on my lips, please keep watching. All right, so step 1 is to prep the skin and apply a light foundation all over, conceal where necessary. I'm going to go in with The Ordinary Serum Foundation in 1.2N. Give this a good shake. Don't use this much because it's so light, so I'm just going to put it on my finger and put it directly onto my face. I'm not using a sponge because this is so watery. I feel like if I used a sponge it would get really absorbed into the sponge. I mean, it's really watery. See how it's kind of dripping down there? I just want to do a little bit of foundation here, and I'm going to use a brush. This is just a Sigma Kabuki brush, and this is giving me decent enough coverage. I mean, it's light, very light, but it is evening out some of my redness and doing the trick, I suppose. That is step 1, and then I will conceal where necessary. And for that I'm going to use my Glossier Stretch Concealer in Light. Just going to go under my eyes with that. And with my finger, I'm not going to use a brush for this. My eyes look very discolored to me. That's my perception. There's nothing happening here with any kind of eye primer, but that's fine because I'm going to be using a lot of color. All right, this is where it gets interesting. So I'm supposed to apply a wash of purple eyeshadow to the eyelids using a medium-sized brush. So I'm going to go in with ColourPop Silver Lining. It's a matte purple. And I'm going to go in with Real Techniques Base Shadow Brush. And this is supposed to be light, so I am going to apply a light wash. So I'm picking up some powder and I'm going to tap it off. I'm supposed to apply this just to the eyelids. So a wash on my eyelids, and then interesting because there's a lot of color in here, although part of it's lip liner, which is weird. But for all the color that we're putting on here, it's interesting that she is doing the foundation first, especially because it's such a light foundation that doesn't really need much work. I'm curious about why the foundation part happened first. Then, supposed to use a smaller brush, a smaller clean brush. So this is a Morphe M205. And I'm going to use the same color. And I'm supposed to blend to the brow bone. Using a clean brush helps the product to blend in seconds. So I'm using a different brush, and with this, I'm bringing it up to the brow bone. So I'm not sure why that is, and I'm not sure why I'm using a different brush and the same color, but I'm doing it. I am getting a different deposit of color here. I also am not clear about why it's supposed to be clean if it's the same color, but so bringing this up. And the first brush that I used was a more fluffy brush, and this is a more flat brush. A little denser, a little flatter. All right, very interesting stuff going on here. That it's gonna get even more interesting because, and I'm doing this on a weekend. I'm gonna be taking things off and doing a lot today. I don't know that I would do this if I was planning on keeping it on all day, because the next thing that they want you to do is to take a lip pencil. We're going to use 2 lip pencils here, not on our lips. And a lot of things that you put on your lips are not safe to put on your eyes, and a lot of things that you put on your eyes are not safe to put on your lips. So I'm just going to do this, but I'm going to take it off probably shortly after I've put it on, just because it seems weird, but I am going to do it. So with the matte pink lip pencil, I'm supposed to line the top eyelash line heavily. You can use a matte pink gel liner, but they can be hard to find. So I'm going to use my NYX lip liner in Pinky. And I'll actually bring you in a little bit because we're going to be getting more detail on the eyes. All right, so I'm heavily lining my top lash line with a pink lip liner, and very interesting to be using a lip liner on my eyelid. And as I'm looking at the picture, the pink is pretty substantial. Like it goes up pretty high. So I am making it thick because I want the color to be saturated, but also thick in terms of going up. I will zoom you through my other eye. And I'm gonna make this one a little bit higher just to kind of match them better. Then, this is also interesting. I happen to have a blue lip liner. Not aqua, it's cyan, but I do have a lip pencil. I'm not sure why they're telling me to use a lip pencil and not an eye pencil. I think most people, I just don't have a lot of colored eye pencils, but I think most people would be more apt to have a blue eye pencil than a blue lip pencil. Nevertheless, we are using an aqua blue lip pencil to draw along the bottom eye line, remembering to keep this line as straight as possible and to follow the I-5 rules in the eye chapter. And that chapter talks about the Fibonacci sequence, the kind of golden ratio. And what I'm basically taking from that, oh, and I'm using my blue lip liner, my NYX Suede lip liner in Little Denim Dress. And so for this, what I want to do is, it's a whole thing in there, but I'm basically lining it just under my iris. There are a lot of different things that she includes, and they really have to do with angles, with the distance here and distance here and distance here and things like that. So that is, I went a little bit further, but that's okay. A little bit further than she would have recommended to do. All right, then I'm supposed to take a matte pink eyeshadow and smudge it into the top lash line using a lash line smudger. So for this, I'm going to use ColourPop Fairplay. Very similar color to the lip liner that I used. And I'm going to use a ColourPop definer brush for this. Not ColourPop, Real Techniques definer brush for this. So I'm going in, and I guess I'm coming in and I'm bringing it very close to my lash line, kind of just smudging this a little bit. It's already pretty smudged. And also what I'm going to do, this step says to really just do it into the lash line, but I do feel like I have too much of a distinction kind of here. So I'm going to use a Real Techniques shading brush just to kind of smudge this out on the top a little bit. So the step that I should be following, that I just did follow, was to take some shadow and pink shadow and put it on like my lash line to smudge that, but I also just wanted to smudge this a little bit. All right. Now I'm finding a matching blue shadow for the lip pencil that I used, and I'm going to smudge it in the lower lash line using a smudger brush. So this is a clean Real Techniques angle definer brush, and I'm going to use ColourPop Tiny Tangerines, which is a little bit shimmery. It doesn't say anything in there about using shimmer versus using matte. I'm assuming I should be using matte, but this was the closest color that I could find, which actually isn't true now that I think about it. I do have a cyan eyeshadow that matches this, but I feel like it wasn't really supposed to be cyan. I feel like it was supposed to be more kind of like a light blue and not like a true cyan. Then we're applying creamy white pencil to the inner rim of the eye. They're only saying to apply it to the inner rim. I'm only going to apply it on the bottom. And for this, I'm going to use my OCC eye pencil in Feathered. I'll zoom you through this. All right, then I'm supposed to curl my lashes and apply lots of top and bottom mascara, making sure the lashes are beautifully combed and fill in any gaps using single false lashes. So I'm gonna curl, and then I'm gonna use Great Lash because I want it to be I don't have a comb. I'm not gonna comb through my lashes, so I want to not be using especially clumpy mascara. So I will curl mascara and zoom you through that. Okay, I'm gonna keep this out and I'll go through with another layer when I'm done with everything else. I'm gonna zoom you out. All right, now I'm supposed to lightly powder the T-zone, and for that I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury airbrush powder because I don't want this to be super duper matte. It also says that if you have dry skin to skip this step, but I don't. Now this is interesting. One of the rules that I've always kind of followed is not to apply cream products over powders. And so they had me apply powder, and now I'm supposed to apply a cream blush. and it says don't overdo it because it might compete with your eyes. For this, I'm going to use Glossier Cloud Paint in Haze. It's a really pretty light pink color. And I don't think I'll have a problem because I don't have very heavy foundation on. This is really pretty. Just gonna apply it here and here, and I'm just gonna tap it in with my fingers. Isn't that a little too much? So to fix it, I'm just gonna powder over it, just kind of bringing it down a little bit. Skip my brows. She says to define the brows, and she used a blonde brow pencil to do this. I'm not gonna do much here. These brows are not very intense. So I just brushed it with my Anastasia Brow Wiz spoolie. And I'm just gonna put a little pencil through here, but not much. I'm not going to really do what I would normally do, which is fairly well defined. Just adding some color where it seems like there's sparseness. Go back in with my mascara just to apply another coat. And I didn't mention it because I was speeding you through my lashes. This specifically says to apply mascara to your bottom lashes too, which I did. I'm not gonna apply a second coat here. One of the things that can aid you is if you apply too much mascara on your lower lashes, because it casts a shadow sometimes on your lower, like beneath your eyes, under your eyes where you sometimes get shadows. So I don't want any extra shadows, but I did want to try to follow that as much as possible. And then the last step is to leave your lips clean and matte, or you can go in with a pinkish nude gloss, which is what I'm going to do. This is Buxom White Russian. I'll speed you through that. And that is the finished look. Still really confused about using the lip liners on my eyes, but I like the look here. I don't look exactly like, I mean, I'm not the model, but I think the color comes close to what they're doing there, and I really appreciate the inspiration to be able to kind of just go outside of what I normally would do and do something different. And I really appreciate that you watched this. So thank you so much for watching. A lot to do in the world and a lot to do on YouTube, and I really appreciate the time that you took to spend with me today. Take care, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.